tell you, I sat with this for a whole day before I could even press play. My hands is shaking, my heart is racing because what they doing to this family, what they doing to this boy is just evil. It's demonic. And I'm tired of pretending like we don't see it. Nolan Wales, 18 years old, 6'1", football player, kissed his mama goodbye on July the 3rd, cooked dinner, and said, I love you. Never came back home. And we supposed to believe he just drowned? Do y'all believe that? Press 5 if you don't believe that he just drowned. On July the 4th, on Horn Island, with a whole group of white friends, with his phone gone, with his keys gone, with every picture deleted, with his body buried and tortured. Honey, let me tell you why I ain't buying none of this. First of all, let's talk about July the 4th. Fireworks, right? We just spent July the 4th. Did you guys see fireworks on July the 4th? Press 8 if you saw fireworks on July the 4th. Everyone got their phones out. When you celebrated July the 4th, did you take pictures? When you looked around, was other people taking pictures on July the 4th, celebrating Independence Day? It was a holiday. Come on now. Come on. Everybody taking pictures, snapping videos on Snapchat, on Instagram, and so was Nolan. Popping pictures nonstop. You cannot tell me an 18-year-old went to an island to celebrate July the 4th and did not take one picture, was not sending out messages, not one video, not one Snapchat. Nola mama said it. Her son usually captures and posts everything. So where is it, y'all? Gone. Deleted. Them white boys done gone, deleted it. Them white boys them scrubbed that phone clean like he was never there. That's a coincidence. I don't believe so. I think it was pre-planned. Do y'all believe it was a coincidence? On the biggest day, taking pictures on a summer day. That's one of the biggest picture taking day of the summer, July the 4th. The one day every teenager in America is documenting every breath except Nolan. The boy who captures and posts everything just happened not to capture or post one thing and then he dies or murdered. No, somebody deleted that phone. Whoever deleted that phone deleted him. Somebody scrubbed that Snapchat. Whoever scrubbed that Snapchat has something to do with his murder. Somebody made sure there was no evidence of what really happened. And that somebody was not Nolan. His mama used this app or system called Life 360. A phone was back on land, and that's how the mama was tracing it with Life 360. And the phone was at a friend's house, not on the island where they last seen him, not with Nolan where they last seen him. So she goes over there after she traces it. They sitting in the dark, y'all, watching TV. It's July the 4th. You're sitting in the dark watching TV. It's quiet, and it's a group of y'all. It's a lot of white people in the house watching TV. You're young and you're not popping on fireworks on July the 4th. 18-year-old boys in the dark when everybody is outside blowing up shit. Yeah, something wrong here. Who sits in the dark on July the 4th? Huh? Somebody too shook up to turn on a light. somebody with blood on their hands, somebody who know they did something and they're trying to wash it off before mama come knocking. And his dad had to do, let me tell you, his dad had to go to a different friend's house for Nolan's car keys. What type of crap is that? So the car keys at this friend house, the cell phone at this friend house, that friend lied, said he didn't have them, and he did. What else are you lying about? What else are y'all lying about? You don't take somebody's phone and their keys if they're staying on the island. You just don't. If Nolan was staying, if he chose to stay, you hand him his shit. If I'm in my car and I notice you got your purse in my car, I'm not about to drive off with your purse, girl. I'm going to give you your purse and say, hey, Michelle, you left your purse in my car. Here, take it. I'll see you later, girl. But I'm not going to take your purse and your phone and take it with me. No, and nah, no. You don't take his lifeline and his way home, then bounce. And you're not a real friend anyway, because no way I'm leaving my friend on an island by themselves. I'm going to stay with my friend. And how many of it? It was a group of them. So you mean to tell me none of the friends were good friends to Nolan and said, you know what, you guys, I'm going to stay behind with Nolan because I want to keep my friend company. I don't feel comfortable with my friend being by here by himself. Clearly, it was some tension going on because on July the 4th, you want to spend time with your family and friends. You came out there with them. You're going to spend time with them. It was a fight. It was an argument going on, and they didn't want to do nothing. They didn't want shit to do with Nolan. They all jumped him. They all hated him. It was something. It had to do with all them versus Nolan. Okay. We have seen this with Shanquella. Remember Shanquella Robinson, how they bumped, jumped, and killed her? We have seen this with multiple individuals. It happens. But that's not what friends do. That's what evil people do. That's what people who already know you ain't making it off that island do. The friend said they left at 4:30 p.m. That's what the friend said. The shepherd dude, because the boat was taking on water, had a pump issues. That's why they had to leave Nolan behind. But the same boat, the one with the problems, was still going, still running, still making trips back and forth to Horn Island from, but it didn't go back to Horn Island to get them, but it was taking a lot of trips that night until 11 o'clock p.m. at night. And if you're telling me, okay, well, the boat was having problems, it was taking in the water, you didn't want to add another body on the boat, then some of y'all friends should have stayed with Nolan and say, well, I'm going to stay with Nolan and till y'all figure out a way. You're not going to leave just one friend by themselves. Y'all hated him, okay? And then want to get on the internet talking about you would die for him. Bull crap. So the boat was too messed up to take Nolan home at 4:30 in the afternoon, but fine enough to keep on running trips for 6 more hours, fine enough to bring other people back and forth, fine enough to keep the party going, but not fine enough to bring Nolan home. No, that boat was never coming back for Nolan. They told you it had problems, so you believe they had to leave him. But the boat was fine. The boat was always fine. They just didn't want Nolan on it. They left him there on purpose. And then they kept the party going on without him, like he was already dead, like they already knew he wasn't coming back. And the Coast Guard got a call from a friend around 11 p.m., but said it did not require Coast Guard assistance. A missing 18-year-old didn't require assistance. What does require assistance then? What does a black boy have to do to get help in Mississippi? They tried to tell us about some girl Nolan supposedly chose to stay and talk to. The reason he didn't come back on the boat, they say. But Nolan and that girl, they were not dating, not together, not a couple. She was just somebody he met that day. And somebody he didn't just met, but he kind of knew of. The mom said he knew of her. And according to her own words, Nolan told her, I'm going back to the boat with my friends. That's what he told her. He told her, I'm going back to the boat with my friends. And this was early in the day, before 4 o'clock, before they left that boat. He told her he's going back to the boat with his friends, not staying with her, not choosing her over them, going back to the boat. So which one is it? Did he stay with the girl or did he go back to the boat? Because the girl says he told her he's going back. And if he went back to the boat, why didn't he come back with them? What happened between him saying, I'm going back, and the boat leaving without him? But you know what? Ben Crump said it. One of them is telling the truth, one is not. And I believe the girl. The girl who has no reason to lie. The girl who isn't trying to cover up a murder. The girl who is not deleting social media. The girl who is not luring up. You see, she didn't lure up. She didn't get a damn social media, get her shit off. Hello? Because she don't have nothing to hide. The girl who said Nolan told her he's going back to his friends. Because if Nolan was going back to the boat, then the friends are lying about him choosing to stay. And if they're lying about that, what else are they lying about? A whole bunch. This whole group left, every single one, got on that boat and bounced, left Nolan on that island with strangers at night with no phone, no keys, with no way to call for help, with no way to get home. Nolan daddy taught him, if you go with five, you come back with five. And you don't leave your people behind ever. So how come not one said, I'm staying with my boy? I ain't leaving him out here with no phone and no keys in the dark. Not one. They just left. Like they knew he wasn't coming back. Like they already knew what was about to happen to him. Nobody in their right mind will leave their friend on an island at night unless you already know he's about to be taken out of here. You don't take his phone and his keys unless you know he won't need them. You don't sit in the dark watching TV on July the 4th unless you know what you did, what you let happen, what you participated in. And if he's going back to the boat, if he told the girl he's going back to his friends, then what happened when he got there? Did they turn him away? Did they tell him the boat was full? Did they already have a plan? Did they already know? And they want us to believe he drowned on July the 4th on Horn Island. Okay? Horn Island on the 4th of July, packed. Families everywhere, boats everywhere, people swimming, fishing, partying, laughing. You cannot throw a rock without hitting somebody. It was so packed. You cannot walk 10 feet without seeing a group. You could not go near that water without somebody watching you. And you're telling me this 6'1" guy, 180-pound man, just walked into the water and just drowned. Nobody saw it. Nobody heard it. Nobody went to help. Nobody noticed a grown man struggling. Nobody called for help. Nobody did anything. How? How do you drown in a crowd and nobody notices? How do you disappear on broad daylight on the busiest day of the year? How does a football player or athlete just drown without no witnesses, no screams, no splashing, no nothing? You don't. You don't. Unless you didn't drown at all. Unless he was already dead before he hit that water. Unless they put him in that water after they did what they did to him. Unless the drowning is the cover up for the murder. Now, let me tell you what they really don't want you to know. What the transport worker leaked, because they couldn't live with the secret. Nolan's body was burned. His face was burned. His body was tortured. This was not no peaceful drowning. This was not no accident. This was evil. This was demonic. This was somebody doing something so horrific, so unthinkable, so inhumane to this baby that I can't even wrap my mind around it. The independent autopsy, the one they tried to delay, the one they tried to bury, found defensive wounds on his arms and hands. He fought back. He tried to protect himself. He knew what was happening to him. He felt every second of it. Trace sedatives in his system. Somebody drugged him. Somebody made sure he could not fight back the way he wanted to. Somebody made him weak so they could do what they did. Time of death, between 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, not 11 p.m., like the state tried to tell us. Not when the friends said they left. Not when the Coast Guard got that call. 1:30 to 2 in the morning, hours after they said he was already dead. And his face was damaged beyond recognition. They needed dental records to identify him. His own mama couldn't look at his face and know it was him. You don't get that from drowning. You don't get that from water. You get that from somebody burning you, somebody torturing you, somebody doing something so evil, so unspeakable that your own mama can't recognize you when they bring you home. Drowning don't burn your face. Drowning don't leave defensive wounds. Drowning don't put sedatives in your blood. Drowning don't happen at 2 o'clock in the morning when they said you was dead at 11. No. This boy was attacked, tortured, burned. Then they dumped him in the water and called it a drowning. And they thought we was going to believe it. They thought we was going to nod our heads and say, oh, another black boy drowned. How sad. And keep scrolling. Not today. Not ever. Then they sent Shepard, calls himself Nolan's best friend, crying on ABC, talking about how he lost his brother. But Nolan's mom, his own mom, said, we don't know that man. We've never met him. He's never been to our home. How? How is it your best friend's mama never laid eyes on you? How you never been to his house? How you never broke bread with his family? I know every single one of my best friend's people. His mama knows me. His mama know daddy knows me. His grandma knows me. That's what best friends do. You know what that tells me? Shepard wasn't no best friend. He was a paid actor. Somebody the white elite in Mississippi sent out to control the narrative, to say what they needed him to say, to lie for the camera so we would stop asking questions. And then they sent out Coach Tracy, the assistant coach, not even the head coach, to TMZ to say there's no racial tension at the school. The head coach is white and ain't said a word. But they sent a black assistant coach to talk to the black people, to calm us down, to tell us to relax and everything is fine. It's not fine. Nothing about this is fine. One of the boys on the boat, son of Jackson County, Judge Ashley, Judge Cole got on Facebook to dispel the rumors, then deactivated her page because she was too afraid of, you know what, baby, you should be afraid, but not of us, of the truth. Then we got Shepard, the sheriff, third generation law enforcement, knows the cover up playbook by heart, came out day one and said, no foul play. Before the autopsy, before the investigation, before anything, just nah, he drowned, case closed. And now the FBI is involved under Cash Patel, the same FBI that's been covering up this for this administration. That don't make me feel better. That makes me feel like they're about to bear this even deeper. Whew. And I gotta be real with y'all. Ben Crump, I respect what he do, but he made some mistakes with this one too. That pool picture he reposted, claimed it was July the 4th, turned out it was from June the 27th. His defense, I just reposted it. I didn't post it. We need you sharp on this one, buddy, not sloppy. In that viral video, he went on Good Morning America and said the give me back my freaking phone voice was Nolan. Now he admits a witness told him that, but he didn't state it as a fact on national TV. I need you to be careful, Mr. Crump, because the other side is looking for mistakes. And they are waiting for you to slip so they can say, see, this whole thing is a lie. We need you locked in, not reposting without verifying, no statement without proof. This family needs you at your best, not you're good enough, okay? And then the press conference, Ben Crump, Nolan parents, and the attorney, they met with the Jackson County DA. Crump announced the investigation results will go to the grand jury, but no arrest yet. So who they indicting? The air, the water, the boat? Crump said everybody would get the same information at the same time. Mutual inspection, they're gonna do it mutual, inspect the phones. And I really like Mr. Crump, but I don't trust Mississippi officials with that phone. I don't trust them with anything. Not the sheriff, not the DA, not the judge son connections, none of them. The victim statement should have been given within 72 hours. Never happened. They kept that mama in the dark. They kept that daddy in the dark. They treated his family like they was criminals instead of victims. And Tyler Perry covering the funeral costs. Beautiful gesture. Celebration of life at Mississippi. That's where they're going to have it at. They're going to have the funeral on July the 20th. But I don't want Tyler Perry paying for funerals. I want Tyler Perry producing the movies that exposes what really happened. I want him using his platform to amplify what Mississippi is trying to silence. Because that's what this is. This is the system, the same system that wrote off Emmett Till as drowning. Wait, no, they said he was flirting. The same system that said Sandra Bland took herself out. The same system that said Trayvon Martin was suspicious. The same system that keeps finding ways to make Black death our fault. Nolan Wales didn't drown. He didn't wander off. He didn't choose to stay. He was murdered, tortured, burned, and then they put him in that water and call it an accident. And they think they can just delete the pictures, scrub the phones, burn his body, and send out paid actors to lie about the boat, lie about the girl, lie about the time of death, and we'll just forget. We'll just move on to the next story. We'll just let another Black boy become a hashtag. Not today and not ever.